We are survivors of the war. We come back to you, our people. And we are survivors of the war. We shared to wait you back. We walk for legs now gone, or lockstep still. We gaze for other eyes now only looking inward. We listen soft for comrades locked in silence. If we have minds less spent, we share unbending. And we who still care life now share this caring memory, that others not forget the dead who have no voice but us.
Welcome to Vet House Voice. My name is Michael Ballance, and I'll be your host for this segment.
My name is Karan Singh, and I'm the guest.
Hello, welcome to the broom closet.
Thank you, Mike.
Glad
Thanks
you
for
could
having
make
me.
it today. It's been a joy so far.
Definitely.
Figured we could get a chance to talk a little bit and ask you a couple questions about yourself, maybe a little bit about your family.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll just talk about whatever we end up talking about. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good. How were the fish cars today?
Oh man, it was delicious.
It was
Who made
good.
them? Did you make it?
Yeah, I did make them. We cut up the fish fresh, and then we dipped them in the batter and did it all myself.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
I had some myself. It was good.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 20 years old. I've been working in a restaurant since I was 13, helping out the family. My dad came here in 1997, and he brought us not short after. And, we grew up in an apartment complex, had a bunch of friends, just grew up with normal lives as kids. Went outside, enjoyed the sun, went swimming, just good stuff.
Just like as a regular kid.
Just like a regular kid.
So how old were you when you came to America?
I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
4 years old.
So is like English your second language, first language, or?
I would consider it my first language.
So it's pretty much what you learned right from the get-go.
Around my siblings, around my friends, we speak English, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about you tell me a little bit more about your family?
Well, my dad came here in 1997, and we came a little bit after he did. We moved into an apartment complex. Had normal lives for the most part. Parents went to work. We stayed home as kids and just did fun kid stuff. Go hang out with our friends, go play hide and seek, go swimming. Had normal friends. Everything was pretty normal for us.
So would your family do before you made fish pakora? The most amazing fish pakora ever.
What do we do? Well, my parents, they managed other people's businesses, and then we had.
That's what you do. You try to manage everybody's business.
And then it's a family thing, Grams. It's a family thing. They worked for other people, and then we would just stay home as kids. My sister, she's the oldest, and she would babysit us, and she was kind of mean at times, but she threw cups and stuff at us, like every normal sibling does. But we just hung out most of the part. Our parents never wanted us outside because they were always kind of scared, kidnappers and this and that. Even though we lived in a pretty decent neighborhood, so but we didn't really care. They'd go off to work and we'd run outside, and then they'd come home and we'd be like, "We've been inside all day. Let us go outside now." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, go for it." And then, we'd just go swimming, go hang out with our friends. Just normal life for the most part.
Okay, so we're going to change to another location.
Real brief about why this is such a hectic thing.
Okay.
Life's going on in the family, some guy and all that.
Yeah. So, I was going to actually go to the. It was an interesting story your mom was telling us about one time how she got in the restaurant business.
We're going to stop
And-
there because we're going to go up to the front now.
And I want to segue into that. So now that we're in this awkward situation here, the restaurant's clear. Maybe we can go up and
Yeah, I hope so.
change to another
You
location.
want some more fish car?
I think I'm full right now,
Yeah,
but we'll see about that later.
sounds good.
Okay, so here we are again at another location. We made comment about the restaurant, the Fish Pakora, earlier, and this is your place of employment at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
And So I noticed that you have our plaque here on the wall behind you.
Yeah, this
you
was
wanna-
actually bestowed upon me by Michael Ballance and David Mack. I was honorable enough to receive this plaque by them.
What's it? What is it? What does a penny a day stand for?
Penny a day. It was for my 20th birthday. They got me 1 penny for each day that I've been alive. So it was a bucket of pennies that I could barely even pick up.
Sound like a bunch of characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds weird because I'm one of the characters. So, you since we're at the restaurant here and this is your little place of employment, you were
Drop all the references to that.
to the restaurant.
Since we're sitting here, they can pick it up from the sign.
Okay.
But we can't promote.
Um,
We'll do that on the script afterwards. It'll say courtesy, thanks to me, Phil, and then we'll list the mom first, and then the dad. Well, he'd get pissed. So
Doesn't matter.
we'll list it, mom, dad, and then in order of the rank. But we'll put that at the end of the thing. So don't make any reference to the restaurant anymore because it's not a promo.
okay.
So since we're here at one of the places you were, take it from there.
So since we're here at one of the places that you work, and I know that's not something you plan on doing the rest of your life. Tell me a little bit about your school and future plans.
All right. Well, I started off in kindergarten at Twin Lakes Elementary School. What's so funny?
That sounds like a drunk log.
No, that's good.
All right. So I started off in kindergarten. I went to Twin Lakes and then went there until about 6th grade, and then we moved to, I think it was Carnegie, and those are in Orangeville. And after that, went to Casa Roble for my freshman year, and then I moved to Granite Bay because we moved over to the Roseville area. And then I graduated from Granite Bay High School, and then I'm at Sierra College right now. This is going to be my junior year. I'm working to get my associate's degree right now, and then I'm going to transfer to Sac State to get my bachelor's and master's.
And you're looking at your degrees in what?
In business and management.
Business management. I don't even know where to go from there. So have you had problems with school? Adapting to? No, you didn't. I don't even know where to go. Totally. Now we're
Just be like
totally screwed up.
What kind of student or?
Yeah. What kind of student are you?
I'm not the best student in the world. I'm not one of those people that naturally understand things. I gotta work really, really hard in order to understand something. So like a book or like a text, for example, I gotta read it over and over just to understand it. So me, nothing really comes naturally. Everything that I do, I get through hard work.
So just like a normal kid.
Just
from
like a
anywhere
normal
else.
kid from
Doesn't
anywhere
matter where
else.
you
Yeah,
are. You got to
exactly.
put in the work.
I mean, I don't like school either. So.
All right. So, tell me about your growing up. You came here. You were 4. You said.
Yeah, 4.
So you were 4, and you come to a new country, and you grew up in this whole different culture and environment.
Yeah.
What is your experience with that?
I don't. It just seems it's all normal to me. It seems all normal. Like I don't remember how I learned English. I just woke up and I knew how to speak it. You know what I mean? And it's been. I mean, everybody has their ups and downs. I had for the most part a normal life. I got picked on a little bit, here and there, color of my skin, blah blah blah, all these things. But that's everybody gets picked on sometime in their life. Bullying. I don't think bullying ever ends.
Yeah.
It comes along with wherever you're at, whoever you are, someone has something to say.
Yeah, I wore glasses as a kid. And
Yeah.
I was
There
an
you go.
easy
4 eyes,
target.
yeah.
Yeah, so that happens. I think that's unfortunate that
Right,
things
right.
like that happen in this
Yeah.
day and age, and happen at all. But it's good to see that you overcome things like that, and you strive to work hard and
Right, no,
move
definitely.
forward. So, are you registered to vote?
Yeah, I mean, isn't everybody?
Well, no, not everybody is registered to vote.
Well, they should be.
One of the freedoms that we have in this country is
Definitely.
the freedom to vote, and
Mhm.
a lot of people don't take advantage of that. It's quite unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate.
So, as you were growing up, who would you say was your biggest influence as a child?
As a child, I think growing up we were always taught about Martin Luther King. Regardless of what school you went to, where you were, he was just one of the biggest people, and it's like everybody knew who Martin Luther King was. You know, there's a holiday after him. You know, we get time off because of, you know, what he did.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I always kind of looked up to him in the sense that like one person can change the world. You know, and he did. He really did. Hundreds of thousands of people came out and listened to his "I Have a Dream" speech. You know, and you know, I saw videos of that growing up, and that was just like, that kind of just stuck to me. You know, it was just like, whoa. You know, it's crazy how much one person can do.
Over the summer, I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta and go to the Martin Luther King
That's
Center
so cool.
and walk around, and they have a little road in the middle, and it's got the people walking down the street, you know, and you get to stand right in the middle, and it's pretty cool.
That's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to do before I die is go to Atlanta.
Visit some of those things.
Visit some of those things.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things to see in the United States.
Yeah.
A lot of
Give
history.
a shout out to Jimmy Carter putting his presidential library on the same esplanade.
Was it on the same, or was it
That
it was
road
nearby?
Straight over.
Yeah, when we were there, visiting the center, you know, the Ebenezer Baptist Church is on the corner, and he was born two blocks same street, two blocks down on the house, and then they actually have his tomb there, and they have the center, and they got the new church built, and Jimmy Carter built his museum right down the street, which is kind of a little, the presidential library, as maybe a homage to that whole that whole thing.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation.
You're resigning.
Why? You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
Oh, I forgot. I'll do better. Please don't quit on me.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
Yeah, so going back, you said that you are registered to vote,
Yes, sir.
and you registered for the draft as well.
Yes, sir.
Do your civic duty.
Do our civic duty. You know, everybody's got to pay their dues. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I believe in.
So, what do you think about the idea of the women? They're wanting women to register for the draft.
I mean, we're all people. I mean, women aren't any less than men, you know. And again, if we're trying to get rid of sexism, I feel like that's totally appropriate, you know. And
I agree.
That's from an old veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I agree. You know, I mean, people have so many capabilities to. We limit ourselves.
Exactly.
And our own people, we say, hey, you can't do that because you're something, and that's just really the wrong way to raise a community of people.
Yeah.
So
I mean, exactly like you said, we limit ourselves.
Right. We're limited by the ideas that we're grown up with.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So speaking of ideas that we grow up with, you growing up in the United States from the age of 4, how does that conflict with maybe your parents' upbringing, the way they see things and the way you see things? You know, you have all that outside influence coming. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. It's definitely like night and day. Honestly, my parents, the way that they grew up, you know, they're very old school. You know, you got to be in bed at a certain time. You got to do things a certain way. And my siblings and I, we're not like that. You know, we grew up here, and the influence here is a lot different than the influence in India. You know, where they grew up. You know, people, they have different rights. They, you know, just have different responsibilities, even sex-wise. You know, so women would do a certain thing, men would do a certain thing. But you know, growing up here, it's just, you know, we all looked at each other equal. You know, I look at my sister and my brother, you know, just equally. You know, they can do the same things that I can do. You know, and the influence is just crazy. They gave us their touch growing up, and you know, we also got, as you know, as people would put it, the American touch. You know, so I feel like we have the best of both worlds. You know, and yeah, you know, sometimes we kind of bump heads with our parents, you know, because they're like, oh, you know, going out to the movies at 10:30 at night is kind of dangerous, you know. We're just kind of like, oh, you know, that it's fun, you know what I mean? Who wants to go watch a movie at 12:30 in the afternoon? You know what I mean? Not, I mean, it's
Not
not
a
for
20-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Not a 20-year-old. I guess you can say that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we bump heads, but for the most part, we get along. But yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's a good lead into that one. So we talked about your family, and I understand you have a grandfather that came into town, and
Yeah,
his name is Avatar or some kind
Avatar,
of thing.
yeah.
Is there like some kind of story to that?
Well, it's in Punjabi. It's pronounced Avatar, and yeah, so they don't really pronounce Avatar. It's Avatar, and there's not really a story behind it. I think or in India, when parents give their children a name, it's supposed to mean something. And I'm not 100% sure if it means anything, but I think he has the same first name as David Mack's middle name, I believe it is. Am I not supposed to say that?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And now,
We're both old. I'm yet not as old.
Okay.
and they met here.
Yeah, they met here, and they're both pretty old. I don't know which one's older, to be honest. Yeah. So, and they look like twins. It's uncanny, honestly.
Yeah, I heard there were some Photoshop shooting going on, and
Yeah,
and they were standing there next to
Yeah.
each other, and a lady came
Lady
by and
came
says,
by,
"Are
she was
you
like,
twins?"
Are you twins? And you know, David Mack got pissed. He's like, "You're not that old." I'm like, "Yeah, you are."
Oh, that's hilarious. So, this is fun, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
fun.
getting warm. So having growing up with a perspective from having parents from another country and getting that kind of generational gap thing, do you feel that has helped you to understand a wider range of people here in America, from older to younger?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my parents gave us certain values that, because they're a lot older than we are. We definitely have a huge
Your parents are the same
gap.
age as me. Thanks for making me feel old. Let me ask you. There's a lot of prejudice and misconception in the United States, in the world, and you came here when you were 4, and by the time you were 6, after 9/11, the first 2 people that were killed in retaliation were 2 Sikh men, and they were people thought they were Muslim or whatever they were thinking that they were. How do you feel about that, being Sikh?
I think that it comes down to the level of education people have, So I feel like if we were more educated, people would be able to tell the difference between a Sikh and a Muslim, And I mean, again, I thought that was completely wrong because those were just 2 men just walking down the street, As like you and I could be walking down the street, and if that happened to us, it would be horrible, So I mean, again, I feel like the level of education totally defines that situation, I feel like people need to kind of understand that we're all human beings, not everybody's perfect, but just because you see something, that doesn't mean it's true, My whole life I've been told, don't judge a book by its cover, and I feel like that's what that was,
I agree.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next time.
So ask me a question.
How were those fish pakora, Mike?
I would not be making gulab jamun today.
And then say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put a shoulder on each other. Yeah, look out there.
Came for the food, stayed for the fun.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next time.